Hi guys, so in this episode we're going to be doing the wings of the aircraft that we decided to make. A couple things since the last episode. I added in this Delta A330 diagram, and I kind of went and just changed the nose just slightly. The cockpit windows are also finished now. It's very easy to do. You just grab the vertices that you had from before in the last episode up here, make some down here. What I did was I connected this vertice here to this vertice and this one to this one. Then I made a loop cut right about there and just kind of move the vertice around until I liked what I saw. Pretty basic. You can see it from the side here. I just kind of shaped it into that. That's all said and done. If I was to actually make this an X-plane product, I would probably, define it up a little bit. But that's where we're at for now. Time to go ahead and make the wings. So, how I start my wings and how I start pretty much every flight control is with a cylinder. So we'll go ahead and find just anywhere that we can put the cursor. Just right click, create a cylinder. Go into your front view with 1. Rotate that cylinder 90 degrees and just kind of smush it a little. S and Z. And then you can drag it out with S and Y. Kind of get that shape in. Okay, so 2 things. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a loop cut in the center. That's exactly at 0, 0. And then I'm going to delete this guy on the left. Good, so now we have this at the center, and when we're all done this wing, we're gonna extend it out to here. We're gonna draw it out, shape it and all. Then once we're done with it, we're gonna add a mirror modifier, which will just make another copy of it over here. And then it's just it's a quicker process. So we're gonna start with that. We're gonna go in the top down view and look at a couple things. As you can see, it's a little bit big right now, so I'm going to go into object mode. And then I'm just going to bring it along here so it matches right. Get that wing where you want it. Make sure you always keep this at 0 though. This mesh here needs to stay in the center of the aircraft. Okay, so now I need to find my wingspan length. The wingspan of the A330, just ignore that. The wingspan of the A330 is 197.83 feet. Yeah, okay, I was just looking at this. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's 197.83 feet. So we're gonna go in. We actually need to divide that by 2. Okay, so we'll take that 60.29858 And we'll go okay, so 30.149292 is what we want in meters. So there we go. We'll just enter that in the dimension and we get the length of it on the right side, or I guess it would be the left side in this case. Then what we can do from there, move this to where we want the wingtip, scale it down. Bring it up a bit. Now I think this measurement is actually to the very tip of the wingtip. So what I'm going to do is just drag it back this way a bit. That seems about right. Okay, and then from there we can just start making cuts, specifically where the wing kind of ends here and it starts to branch off. All right, I'm happy with that. I might move over a little bit more. Gonna get that leading edge right. Okay, and then there's one more right here, but I don't know if that's exact or not. So I'm gonna look at a reference. Okay, so it does seem to kind of drag off a little bit. So that does seem pretty accurate. So what we can do here, if we want to keep this leading edge exactly straight, we can zoom in on this vertice, change this into cursor mode. Yours might be at the top of Blender. Shift right click on it, that way we can scale it down based on this point. So there, I'm happy with that. Same thing over here. And actually this one isn't straight, so I'm going to go back to median. There we go. So far, so good. You're kind of getting that wing shape that you want. Go ahead and smooth it out here. And of course, you need to get your scale set to 1:1. Control A and scale. So far, the wing's coming along. Back into your front view. And just kind of line these up. You may need to make them a little thicker. Okay, so I like that. That looks pretty good, pretty fresh. The wing profile, I should have actually done first. So what I would have done before I showed you all this is just kind of shape out um, these vertices in here to how they should be, and then you can just kind of make loop cuts and it'll stay the same shape. But we can do it manually after we've done the wing. So the flaps are not that round; they're actually pointy, so we can go ahead and change that. The best way to do this would be to find the actual wing rib profiles on Google. I don't know if I can even find them for this airplane, but I'll try. Search up your airplane and then wing profile. Wing root of the A330. Okay. Yeah, that's not what we want. I mean, most wings are pretty much the same. They're relatively similar. In this case, I think I'll just eyeball it because I don't actually have any documentation. I have to do it all manually. A330 is a beast. Something kind of like this. That has to change for each individual thing now. This is the longer way to do it. I should have done this before I actually started making the loop cuts. Alright, so that's decent, I guess, for now. I don't know about this, but whatever. It does look kind of weird. make it less aggressive. Okay, so that's pretty much the wing. Then we'll have to make the flaps and all that, and the ailerons and wingtip. But I'll do the mirror modifier. As you can see, it's kind of coming along. Add the underbelly afterwards. Okay, wingtip time. What we'll do is we'll duplicate this section. Rotate it. And connect the vertices. Okay, that's done. Compare it to a real picture. It'd be a little taller. Shorter. Good. That looks good to me. Sure, we'll leave it like that for now. Next step is to maybe make the leading edge a little thicker. If not, I shall probably just leave it. But yeah, if it's not thick enough for whatever plane you guys are making, just kind of make this more, add more drag to it, if anything. Make this come out more than around. Quick look at the mirror. All looks good. Yeah, looks good to me. Then we can go in and add the flaps and all that wing stuff. The tail, I guess we could do. Why not? Thing is, the wing pretty much at a cylinder. Make sure it's in the middle. Scale it on the x-axis. Drag it up if you have to. Just kind of push it through the mesh. It'll just kind of take the shape. Now select the top half. Y-axis scale. Next, we'll do that point selection thing again where we scale it along. Pretty much a tail there. Adding loop cuts. Put them where you want them. I think that's a pretty good tail. And then what we'll have to do is round the rudder area out. And then what you can do actually for the rudder is, what I should have done was kind of make this object come along here and then break off and then add another separate rudder object there. But yeah, that's pretty much how you do that. And same thing for the elevator cylinder. Shape it, drag it, done. I'll do the same thing where it goes in the middle again. Loop cut. Delete that side. And then for the angled ones, you can just angle it. Do that in a second though. All right, now we'll angle this one. Another loop cut. There you go. Always look at references. Can't really find any. Oh, that's because this is the wing. I get more results like this. Yeah, it looks good to me. Good enough for now. All right, well that's the basics of how to model a airplane pretty much. Those are the wings, almost done. Need to add the flaps and ailerons and slats and all that. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it for there. And we'll pick up in the next video with flaps. And yeah.